many kids with ADHD, school can be a negative experience. It can be a source of frustration and really, their lack of ability to kind of do things the way everybody else does can make them have a sense of failure. How do you work with kids to encourage a sense of, a love of learning, a sense of school being a positive experience?
My philosophy in education is that if a child is loving to learn, they're going to learn better. So my job is to have them love learning. And the number one way that I found in my short career as a teacher, the number one thing that I found that helps is building a community in the classroom. If the kids feel safe, if the kids feel like they can take risks, then they're going to do just that. And they're also going to love the process of learning more. There's less stress involved. You don't have to worry about making a mistake or taking a risk if you know that if you do, it's not a big deal. And one of the ways that I get to that personally for me is I do theater games with the kids. I find that if kids can be silly with each other during theater games, then why can't they, and take risks during theater games, then why can't they take those same risks during math and not worry about if they get it wrong or not? And I find that when kids do that, they, a lot less pressure gets taken off of them, and they love the process of learning more because that stress is no longer there.
What can parents do sort of on the home front to promote, a love of learning and an engagement with the things that they're doing in school? I know, coming home and doing homework can be a source of frustration, and parents, often don't know how to, how much to push kids or not. And, what can parents do to really, complement, what you're doing in the classroom to help kids enjoy school and make it a positive experience?
On the first day of school, I tell my students my homework policy, and then I tell parents at open house my homework policy a few weeks later. And my homework policy is a little different than other teachers. And it's that if a homework assignment should take, let's say a math page should take half an hour. If it's taking 2 hours, 2.5 hours, that means that there's something that I need to be reteaching, or I need to teach in a different way. Homework should not be a source of frustration. Homework should be a place to practice. And if it becomes so frustrating that the child is crying or just doesn't know what to do, then put the pencil down. Write me a little note on the top of the page and say that this was really challenging so that I can reteach it in a way that will make a little bit more sense. It's important to communicate that to the teacher as well, because if a homework assignment was supposed to take 30 minutes and took 3 hours, and you don't tell the teacher, I'm going to look at the assignment and assume that it went okay. But it's important for me to know how the homework went. In addition, I know, like, I was in 5th grade, you were in 5th grade once, we all were in 5th grade, and we all might have had experiences where we didn't want to tell our parents everything we were learning about in school. So the best thing I suggest to parents to do is I suggest them to ask just one question. Just tell me about one thing you did today, and then leave it at that. Kids don't want to feel like they are being interrogated about school, or they don't want to feel like it's another day of school where they have to teach what they learned. Really, if you just make it light and fun and short, kids will tell you more about what they learned in school.
John, those sound like some really wonderful ways to keep kids engaged and to promote a love of learning.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.